Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at justkkeepswimming_podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it.
Am that dude. Like, yes, I can be physical, I can go out and play sports and do all that other shit, but a lot of the shit that I like to do is gaming. It's, you know, anime, it's manga, it's all these particular cultural things that you look at and then people are like, oh, well, because you're not this particular brand of black male, you must be gay, or you must be just, yeah, exactly. And so for my money, it's just like, with this whole breakup, one of the things that she immediately started using to attack me was, you Wayne Brady Carlton ass nigga. And I'm just like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, right? And it's just like,
that's really crazy. Wayne Brady Carlton ass nigga.
Right, exactly. And so it's just like, you can't even attack anything that I did or did not do in the relationship. Oh, except cards. I bought you 2 cards. You didn't buy me one. I'm just like, I was planning on doing a bunch of shit for your birthday.
I don't buy cards.
But
I don't buy no damn gift card. I'll give you the gift, but I ain't buying no card with it. After I got the gift. I don't have time to come up with something. That's I'll give you a gift card, then I'll get you a card. But
yeah.
I'll give you an actual bag or something in it. A physical item that's 3D.
Yeah, it's just like, nah, that's the card. Yes.
It's on my name on it.
Right? And it's so funny because it's just like, you never bought me a card. And I'm just like, no, but I did fucking replace your toilet seat in your apartment that you shared with this old lady because it was busted, because it was broken down. Mm-hmm. I'm like, do we want to like
play that game?
Do we really want to do this? I'm like, because when it comes down to the way that I show love, I like, when people are like, what's your love language? I'm like, there are times where I use all fucking 4 or 5 or however the fuck many there are of them. Because if I see something that needs to be done, I'm gonna fucking do it. Like, I'm handy around the house, so it's just like, I'm gonna do that shit. When I saw that your fucking light went out on your car, like, I bought brand new LEDs for them to get put in and everything like that, and they should have worked, but unfortunately it didn't. Like, I did everything I know to be correct because I done this job in 3 different cars, you know. So the fact that with your car it kind of shorted out and needed to be reset and they charged you about $200 for that, I'm sorry.
That's unpredictable.
Yeah, it's
something past me.
Exactly. And so it's just like, plus I gave you 100 of that 200 because I felt so fucking horrible, and this is after I came out 80, almost $90 for the LEDs in the first place. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, when we talk about who did what, and you know, I did all these things for you, and I'm just like, it is so easy for you to dismiss everything I did as nothing.
Right.
But it's just like, I did tangible shit for you.
Right.
You know, so yeah, man. There's a lot of like we can do both because
we're gonna do both. We're gonna do both. We're gonna make it work. Mm-hmm. I like that. I think we make it work for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you ready to jump in, bro?
Yep.
Okay.
I already kind of started recording. Like,
oh, you did it
3 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
But
I was just keep rolling. Shoot, we already been in deep conversation, man.
But
everybody out there listening, welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. Sorry, we was already deep in conversation because we've been talking about life pretty much. You know how it is when brothers get together. So you already know who's with me. We got Mr. 13. Mr. 13, how we doing today?
we doing good. We're doing good. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm blessed, bro. Man, it's been a great day, a marvelous afternoon, and about to be a nice evening. So I cannot trip at all, bro.
I heard that.
So then on the microphone, you guys been hearing our very special guest. One reason I wanted to bring him back because the last episode he was on got the most views we had in a long time. So I had to bring him back for show to see if it was a fluke or was it real. So bring back to the microphone. We got Mr. Kenny. Kenny, how we doing, brother?
Doing all right. Good to see you guys again.
Sir.
Yeah, man, it's always good to see you. Always good to be here, man.
Yeah, nah, bro. And I love your shirt right now, the I Am Black History shirt. I think that's beautiful.
This was a gift from one of my dear friends and mentors. I call her my big sis, Dr. Cheryl Adams, over at DO High School, Desert Oasis High School. She actually teaches the AP African American Studies class, just like I do. And now we're about to, matter of fact, we're going out to Boston. We're going out to the National AP Conference next month.
Oh, that's dope.
Yep. So it's gonna be really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think that's dope too because today we had an Upset event and we talked about the kids about Black history, and of course we brought the 10 most famous figures: Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, everybody. But then we started bringing up people that are like, okay, who's not on this list? And then out of nowhere, my mom is Black history, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. Talk about the pops and everybody. So I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, man, there's so much about just what it actually means to grind and do something for the betterment of your community and of your people. And I think honestly, we're looking for the big names, we're looking for the marquee names, but the thing is, without those people in the background, the people who, I think if you are a marquee name, you owe it to reach back and say, hey, I don't get here without these people. I don't get here with, if I'm Martin Luther King, I don't get here without, Abernathy and Diane Nash. And, if I'm Malcolm X, I don't get here without, all these different people who I was actually in community with. I don't get here, if I'm Muhammad Ali, I don't get here without Malcolm X. If, it's all these different people, I think that we don't necessarily hear about. That's the aspect of Black history that I love the most. It's just, matter of fact, this kid I had in my class, and you wouldn't know it because she's kind of white facing, but her last name is Chisholm. Her I want to say it's grand aunt is Shirley Chisholm.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so she didn't really know a lot about her aunt until a little bit later on in life, but once she did, it was just she's like, well, now I gotta know more. I want to learn more. So she was in my AAE class last year, and now she's gonna be in my AP class next year.
Nice.
Yeah, and again, you never really know, and it's just this is why we talk about, just the prism of blackness. It's not just, people of a specific skin color or anything like that, because like I said, this girl is very fair skinned, and if you didn't know anything about her, just you wouldn't even question, you wouldn't know. And so
it's the culture.
It very much is have you guys seen Sinners?
Yes. Yeah.
Did anybody know that Haley Steinfeld was part black before this movie?
I didn't.
Because I sure didn't.
Yeah.
I knew she was part Filipino because of that. I want to say that was on her mother's side of the family, but apparently, I think on that same mother's side of the family, that same relative who was half Filipino was also half black.
Oh, wow.
And so, I didn't know any of that before Sinners. I knew she was multiracial. I just didn't know her racial makeup in that degree. And then you see Sinners, and you're like,
That makes that movie even more beautiful.
Yes, absolutely.
No, and that's real, bro. And I fully agree with that. Knowing the history of your family is amazing because that's what I've been doing recently, for sure. Going to my grandparents and just talking to my grandfather, for sure, and just getting his history. And then or actually, deep conversation I had. So grandma was in the hospital. She's a lot better now. She's back. Don't worry about
Glad
it.
to hear
She's
that.
good. Drink water. But she got to drink water, bro. On her head. Everyone walking there. Grandma got some water. Where your water at? Drink water. I'm on her head. But riding with she was at the hospital, and my uncle Bunch rode with me. So he rode me to the hospital, and I'm just talking to him in general.
Henry?
Yeah. We all call him Bunch. But Henry was riding with me. So I just started talking to him just to learn. And it turned out Henry was the first person in the family to move to Las Vegas.
Wow.
And I didn't know that, but he is the oldest, or one of the older brothers alive still and whatnot. But he was the first one to move to Vegas, and you know, I learned why he always makes cakes, because he worked at one of these hotels being the head baker for like 20 years, and then when the Flamingo or something opened up, he got transferred to Flamingo, and then he was the chief baker there. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And he made all the recipes at the Flamingo and stuff. So like a lot, and it blew my mind, because it's like, so that you telling me that when I went to the buffet at the Flamingo and ate them desserts, that was coming from my own uncle. You made that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was from my bloodline, and I'm not even realizing this, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think that right there is like crazy, you know, just to learn that history. And the idea that my uncle was a head chef in a restaurant, and I didn't realize this at all, you know? I thought he just likes to cook, but no, this dude was a chef, you know? So I think that right there is like beautiful.
I think it's so funny because I think it's just a familial thing. We don't always think that the people who we're around, who've lived these lives that we get to see from the context of being children, and then we grow up into adults. Like, me and my buddy Mabratu were just talking about this. We were just talking specifically about the fact that when it comes to our parents and stuff, we're kind of strangers. Yes. We know them in the context of how they raised us and being parents, but when it comes to their own things, their own hopes and dreams and loves and losses and things like that, we don't necessarily know a whole lot about them until we get older. And even then, if we get older, we have to hope that we have a good enough relationship with them that we can still learn those things from them.
Or we even have the mindset to ask. Yes. You know, because some of it you don't even ever think to ask that. No. You know, and then you hear. So, you know, I deleted most of my social media. I've been on YouTube recently, and you hear like videos. Yeah,
you know, I've been on social media a couple years now. I get it. Welcome to the welcome back.
Feels good, bro.
Yes.
So then, like, a lot of videos I'll see, it's always saddening when you hear the videos of, you know, it's always somebody, tell me a story of something. And then my mom died, and I didn't realize that she was the CEO of this company. And I went through her paperwork, and it turned out she left everything to me, but I didn't even know none of this about her life. And I'm like, deep, you know what I'm saying? I did that. Who knows what my parents could have did, you know? Like, I know my dad's a little bit work history, but I'm sure he did a lot more stuff that I didn't really. He told me something he did the other day, and I was like, really? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, it makes sense from what my grandfather was doing. I'm not shocked he was doing that too. So, yeah, man, crazy. But
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I know what I'm talking about. Either way, I'm not trying to convict my family at all. But either way,
we all got that in our family. We all got that in our family.
So today, ladies and gentlemen, we kind of have a little blended of ideas that we want to talk about today, but I think it's going to blend perfectly like a great shake. So today I kind of just want to talk about, one is how we all weird in our own way, you know, and just like how we were just talking about the parent stuff, you know. I'm sure there's somebody out there right now that just heard what we were saying, and it's like, you didn't know your mama owned a company? That's weird. You know, you're a weirdo. You don't talk to your parents like that. But it's like, no, I'm not thinking about that.
Some people don't have those families like that.
No, and sometimes if you are a curious and inquisitive child, like, and you ask questions, sometimes they say, you know, oh, what's dad do for a living? Put food on your table. Yeah. Put a roof over your head. Mm-hmm. Keep the lights on. That's what your dad does for a living. And it's just like, damn, I was just curious, you know.
Right, exactly. So yeah, man, it's crazy, bro. So what I kind of want to talk a little about today is just, one, how are you personally weird in your own way? And then two, I think that's going to lead us to, how has your quote unquote weirdness helped you dodge the bullets in life? Make sense? Kind of make sense? Yeah? Okay, cool. So just want to jump into it. The way this idea got popped in my mind, like I said, I was talking to my counselor, and you know, a lot of times I'll talk to her, I would kind of say, you know, I'm weird, or you know, I feel like I'm weird in this way, I'm weird because of this, and then she had to get to the point, it was like, Adrian, we're all weird, you know what I'm saying? But you're starting to validate your feelings, and because you validate your feelings, you feel weird because you never validated them before. Yeah. So it's like, now that you're validating your feelings, you feel this way, but it's like, no, you're right to be this way, you know, and you're unique in your own way, shape, and form. So I kind of just wanted to, you know, share it with the room and to see, like, what are some things that you guys feel like that makes you weird, you know, and then we can probably go into what makes other people weird as well.
I could probably say, and Kenny will agree, and then also Adrian, you'll agree as well, just like, nigga. I don't want to be being aggressive and shit outside or being all this alpha. Like,
man.
Yes.
And to just tag that on top, just because I don't do those things doesn't mean I'm not a confident individual.
Right.
And like I have my masculinity, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think part of that masculinity, which I've been learning recently as I'm with my new partner, bro, are you calm? Do you do and get shit done that you need to get done, and then do you hold space?
Yes.
I mean,
That's
I
amazing.
even asked ChatGPT, or just give me some ideas, different perspectives on what it is, and it's like, bro, you would do because you would do.
Yeah.
You like to chill, you like to have your own interests, and then if you find somebody, you're gonna love and protect them until the end of the earth.
Yeah.
So why does it seem like I'm weird for liking video games and fucking anime and just watching YouTube? Like, I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
I'm me in my natural spot. I made my own natural room or apartment, house, whatever, and I own this. This is me. Why have I gotta be weird to like all this shit and play these games? Like, and if you judge me for it, then kind of honestly, fuck you.
No, and you know what? I feel on that one a lot, bro, because I was telling Jessica this last night. I was like, man, I need to find a show to watch. Because, I literally said, like, my weird ass, I'll sit here and watch the Batman animated series. Yeah, and then it's like, it's fire though, bro.
It's so good.
And I'll be laughing.
I still got the DVDs, and I got all of them,
Man.
all the way through Batman Beyond, bro.
Bro.
And that's the shit, man. Like I love that stuff.
But then at the same time, for me, it's like, yeah, I like that, but it's like, it keeps me out of raw TV drama of watch people gossip and fight and whatever. And if anything, it probably give me a good energy. Be like, let me go be a superhero today. You know what I'm saying? Let me do the Dark Knight for somebody. Like,
I was getting my hair retwisted earlier this week.
Looks beautiful, bro.
yeah, it does.
Appreciate you. It's a long time coming. I need to shave off my sides and shit like this weekend too.
DJ being my
But what was I about to say?
your hair twist this week.
I was getting my hair retwisted this weekend. Dope hairdresser. Fuck with her till a long way. She take care of me. I take care of her. Just realized we known each other for like 4 years, and she's been just doing my hair. But there was one time I was over there getting retwisted, and we usually just like watch whatever she puts on the TV, and she had on Baddies one time, and I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy. Now, a girl I talked to before, my girlfriend now, she watched Baddies too, and I'm just like, bruh.
So what is this?
Baddies. It's like the reality TV show. So it's like the new version of it's like a competition show, kind of, ain't it? They trying to see, or it's like a reality show.
Yeah.
But it's like the real world with no plot. So it has no plot, but it's just, you get the baddies in the house, and they trying to show that I'm the baddest of the bad. So yes, I look good, but I'm also a bad bitch on the inside, and I ain't gonna let nobody talk to me. Like, I remember one episode, one clip I seen. The girl was like, I'm about to fight this girl. And she walks on, yeah, get off the bus. And the other girl's like, okay. And then jump off the bus and they start fighting. And I'm sitting there like,
goddamn.
Look, so I bring up that time. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah. Well, she was like, yeah, you can't. She was like, you can't catch me on this shit. I just watch it because it's like, I know I will never be that. Like, crazy shit. So the main bitch, I guess Natalie, which is the CEO of Baddies, brings her friends or the people on the show to there, and then she's like, yeah, I'm just tired of this disrespect and blah blah blah, like I'm the CEO, like blah 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 blah. I'm like, bitch, you're the one inviting me to that house to challenge you in the first place, and then be instigating the fight.
Sense, right?
Wow. And then the bitches be fighting for no reason. I mean, okay, and this is not derogatory. This is on them on the show. The show should be called Bitches because they bitch. Bitch,
that's all it
is. Bitch, bruh.
Fighting, bro.
Bruh, that is okay. I think I mentioned my buddy. He about to be Dr. Jeffrey Long. There was a school year. The last school year we were together. Before he and my sis, Dr. Ashley Long, they're both getting their PhDs together from University of Alabama. But like, Jeff is my road dog. That's my brother for life. And there was just a year where we broke up about, I shit you not, I want to say a good 3 or 4 fights outside of my classroom.
Wow.
And every time it was young black women, and when you see it's us, it hurts more.
Bro, it hurts.
When you see us, when you see it's us, it hurts more. Especially when he and I, it's just like we grew up. Neither of us grew up rich. We both grew up in just kind of not exactly shitty situations, but not great. We grew up rougher than these kids who were in our schools, and they just fight for no reason. And when they do, bruh, it's like anytime I hear that bird, you guys hear the bird as we got a lot of them in Vegas, right? That's how it sounds. Bitch, bitch. That's all you hear. And it's just like, it's literally like a bird call. And when you hear that bird, I was like, bitch, ooh, what the fuck is going on? It is traumatizing because, and I think that's part of the reason I can't watch reality TV, because you see it in the kids.
And that's what gets me, bro. Like, I can't watch it because when I start watching it, it's like for me, recently, it's literally been my body, bro. Like, my body starts to feel weird. I'm like, I can't watch fight videos on the internet because it's like, it makes me feel weird. I'm saying, like, this is not right. And there's no reason we should have 20 people around rooting this on with cameras. And then, you see the video.
And then you post it.
And then you post it. Come think about the video of that one kid that was fighting and he come lay on the ground. I'm saying,
that shit is nuts.
I'm like, are we allowing this? This is at a young age, okay, but when we get to the 20s and up, you too old for that. And I had to. So it's funny, right? How two things you said earlier. One, at the program. At the program we had over the summer, we had to kick off two girls because they had past drama. I'm sitting here wondering, like, what is this drama, right? So story is, these girls were best friends for the last 5 years. Live on the same street, go to the same school, make sure they take their classes together and everything. Within the month of May, somebody started a rumor about the other one, and now they do not rock with each other. Man. And it's to the point where it's so bad that they had to get damn near school. I know they had school-wide restraining orders where it's like, don't talk to each other program.
No contact.
So they had to sign no contact, all this stuff. But they didn't tell none of us. The parents didn't tell us nothing. Of course, they get into the program. We got these girls in the same bus, in the same classroom. Damn near about to be roommates. Because we didn't know about this no contact order. And then we had to end up letting them both go. Because it's like, y'all two alone are bringing more drama than these other 88 kids are bringing. So it's like, we have to let y'all go. Because once they left, the energy went pure.
That's good.
And it was sad because I had to kick out two black girls. But then there was another situation where some girl had her hand on the seat and the other girl was sitting there and she was touching her shoulder. And it was funny because I'm walking up to them to really talk to one of the girls, like, for a whole different situation. And all of a sudden, hey, don't fucking touch me. What we talking about right now? What we talking about? I'm saying, like, now literally, I'm sitting here, like, y'all don't even see me standing here. So I literally say, what is happening? I don't really know what's happening, but she tripped. Both y'all get up, let's go outside. And I'm like, and I pull them to the side. I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. I can kick. If I tell one other person this, y'all both kicked out. I'm pulling y'all to the side and telling y'all this out of respect, that I don't want y'all to get kicked out and y'all good students. If y'all are fighting college, you're going to jail first and foremost. There is no RPC. You're going to jail. You know what I'm saying? You're going to jail. 2, you're about to lose 3 free college credits over somebody touched my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? There's so many kids in here, y'all gonna keep bumping into each other all the time. Like, let this shit go. So then the little Latina girl walk off while I hold the black girl back. And I'm like, I understand. It's not a lot of us here, but you gotta represent, yo. Like, you can't be sitting here making us look bad off of something like that. You can barely walk. You got a brace in your leg. You can barely walk right now. You being mad off this girl touching your shoulder, you have to squash that right now. Man, Mr. You mad about nothing. You mad about literally nothing. Because you about to get up, you about to go there, eat lunch, you about to go to this dorm room, you about to see this girl for the next week straight. Y'all gonna be for that long, or you gotta just let it go? Because it's gonna be a long week for you if you don't. Or it might be a really short week. You know what I'm saying? You might be going home Tuesday. So you gotta get together. But I had to do it though, because I'm like, my little black girls, y'all have to get together, yo.
And that's the thing I don't think is being, we are of a generation of men, of people, where what you were is not just who you are, but it's the entry level to anybody finding out who you are. And if anybody's going to want to find out who you are, they got to be comfortable around what you are, which sucks because it is a burden that a lot of people don't want to have to carry. And I think the more we, progress into doing and being and becoming our own version of weird, then the better off we'll be.
Yeah.
But
that's deep.
Yo,
no,
is it just me? Have you guys ever seen Game of Thrones where dude is like, oh, well, the Night King's coming and we're going to lose? He goes, yeah, but we still have to fight that nigga anyway. That's what it is about being a representative of the quote-unquote black community. Is actually numerous ones.
It's crazy. So the thought you're saying is like perfectly how I feel, and that was gonna be my version of weird, because I feel like my version of weird is sometimes I can blend in wherever I'm at.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Same.
I can have fun, I can be loud, I can be ignorant, I can be black.
Yeah.
Or I can go sit into a classroom and be the most educated person in there.
Absolutely.
And respectful, and
we are multitudes.
I am multitudes.
Yes.
Yeah, I can wear most hats.
Yes.
And I understand my human, and I don't try to fight it or be mad about it, because some people, they feel that y'all three educated men. Y'all know how somebody, like I said, Carlton or Uncle Tom or something like that, can you talk proper?
Wayne Brady.
You got a degree, or you going to school. You help the kids out. And it's like,
it's just like,
you don't go to your club and go drinking. You don't know the basketball scores, right? No, nigga.
Oh, you
I
think
don't
you're better than
care.
somebody because you got this degree, and it's just like, no. I just wanted to be a better version of what the fuck I could have been.
And the only person that's verifying that is me.
It's me.
I don't care about the fuck you think. Like, I'm doing me.
Yes.
Like, let me be weird. Like, you ain't hurt. I ain't hurt nobody. So let me do what I'm doing.
Yes.
And like my thing too, and I think this goes to like a more general human thing, is just like, and I don't make fun of you in a serious or make it at your expense joke.
Yes.
Towards you for being you.
Yeah.
I don't care, bro. Like, if you treating me fine and I'm treating you fine, or we're having a good moment together, I can give a fuck less. Just be you.
Exactly.
And I encourage that. But if I say something weird and then you hop on my head and make a joke about it at my expense, and it's like, bro, fuck what? Like,
and you know what it is? It's this. It's clout chasing, but the problem is people act as if you cannot actually gain people's respect without having to shit on somebody else.
Exactly.
And we are creating this fucking culture of exclusion for the sake of social collateral. Like I'm sorry. And it's so funny. So have you ever seen the whole I'm never up on it because I'm not on social media, but of course, doing Stuco and everything like that, every once in a while the kids will just try to get like a TikTok trend, they'll go on it and everything like that. The dumbest one, or the one I can't stand, and it stood for a minute, was these kids come up and they're like, hey, we should get this person to be like, just give me my money, and say it in a weird way. Have you guys seen that shit?
No.
It's dumb as hell. Like 5 or 6 people actually stand around the circle and they just give me my money, and then everybody claps, and then it's dumb as fuck. And so then by the time you get to the last person who goes, just give me my money, and nobody says anything, and they're just like, and then like they just wait to see if the person crashes out, and I'm like,
that's fucked.
It's fucked up. It's dumb as shit. Like, it's not funny at all. And when you see it, and then people are like, that was funny, and it's just like, no, it was exclusionary and stupid as fuck. And if that's what's funny to you, then you're the one who's fucked up.
And I mean, I know they may be too young to realize the ramifications of this, but like, as us from like an older community, it's like, then you wonder why people are so antisocial. Maybe not in the aggressive narcissist way, but like the little meaning antisocial. They don't want to be.
They don't want to be around you.
It's like, why are you surprised? Like, we keep excluding niggas just for being them, or thinking that they're a part of something when they're being fooled in illusion that they're not.
Exactly.
And that's the sad part about it, because like, so that's the situation was happening where, so the girls, they stayed one day, but during that one day, a side group chat got started with other girls talking trash about one girl. So then now somehow it got back to the girl. Of course, it always gets back to them, and they taking pictures of each other in class and wooty, and now it's a joke to make fun of her and stuff. And I'm sitting here like, I don't understand it. Like, I can understand teasing and stuff like that. It's a tease, what I'm saying. But at the same time, you knew at what point to stop. You like, okay, my bad, Johnny. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just being funny. Come play with us. You know. Yeah. Like even though Johnny was slow, I always picked him because I knew he was slow. And it was like you my teammate still because you got a great arm. You know what I'm saying? You probably can't run and save your life,
but you can quarterback. You
quarterback to say you can't catch, but you can quarterback all day long. You know what I'm saying? We need you. You know, but not a lot of times though. It's like. It's like the Mean Girl syndrome.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. The Mean Girl syndrome. I watched this on the show last night, 13 going on 30. And I'm sitting here like, the girl was a 13-year-old.
I love that movie.
You saw the movie?
Oh, come on, Maddie, it's Thriller. It's Thriller.
Yeah, they do the fucking Thriller.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, with the Hulk and shit. That was my first time watching it, bro.
Yeah,
I watched it the first time.
Dude, I would watch Jennifer Garner in anything. She's fucking delightful. She's effervescent.
Yeah, she had me almost crying. But anyway, though, so the plot of the story, though, she's 13 years old, wishes to be 30. She becomes 30. No, she gets transferred to her 30-year-old body. But she doesn't know what she did for the last 15 years. Yeah. Turns out for the last 15 years, she's been a mean girl in real life. Like a real life grown mean girl. Yeah. And now she's trying to redo everything she did. Well, she's trying to live her life, but every time she gets to the point where something good happened, something from her past is shot back up that she didn't know that she did. Yep. So now she's trying to, relive it. And it's like, the friend would not let that go. Yeah. Well, you know what, bitch? I saw you was about to quit on us, so I quit on you and whoop. And, and it's this straight up mean girl mindset. And it's always just cutthroat and just always just leave somebody off or something like that. Like, I don't understand that stuff, bro.
It's a very much
dog eat dog world.
It's dog eat dog, and it's a fear. It's a fear of that shit happening to you, so you do it to somebody else
exactly
before it happens.
Let me get them before they get me.
Yeah, and that's who the fuck wants to live like that, man?
I don't know, bro.
And like, I think I'm glad you said that too, because like again, who does want to live like that? Yeah. But I feel like with the societal pressures and things like that, not letting like that.
Yeah.
Why is it weird for me to let shit go?
Yes.
And move on. Instead of making, or everybody thinks I should blow up and get them back for some degree. I'm like, I don't care. I want nothing to do with them. Like, get them out and I'll move forward. And it's not even like a true, I want to fuck them up or anything. It's just like, I just don't want anything to do with it. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is that weird?
I think honestly it's because we are. The more I look at it, bro, it's societal. Man. It is in our politics. It is in the way that we talk to each other. It is in our social media. Everything is built so much around conflict these days that people don't necessarily know how to de-escalate in real life, because in their mind, we've got to actually do this. If somebody fucks you over, it has to be now. You go from being, strawberry shortcake to the bride from Kill Bill. You gotta have your revenge. You got in
that moment.
In that exact moment. And it's just like, if you don't do it then, and people don't understand that true strength, more often than not, is not in the things you do, but in some of the things you don't do.
Yeah.
And that's
it's two halves of every.
It absolutely is.
It's beautiful, because I literally heard a video yesterday. The dude was talking about, if somebody insults you, don't clap back. Instead, wait 10 seconds. And that 10-second pause is going to, one, make them feel bad now because they said something. And they're going to be like, oh shit, I just said something I probably shouldn't have said. Because this person ain't snap. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you fat bitch. Fuck you. That's what they're looking for. But if you say you fat bitch, and you keep eating or some shit, they gonna be like, what is going on? Unless they really want to fight you and provoke you, but then that's a different case now. You know, that's when you just talking. But if that's not the 9 or 10 times, they gonna just shut the fuck up and walk off and leave you alone. Cause
the power in silence. Power in silence is just funny.
It really is, and it's so funny too, because the things that you hate. Excuse me, I don't know about you guys, but like I don't deal well with the silent treatment. I'm very much like, hey, if you feel a certain way, I'm like, I will always pause. I will take my time. I will try to consider exactly what it is I'm going to say, because I know me. I know that if I wanted to eviscerate you with this tongue of mine, I could do it.
I could do it, but I can roast you.
Exactly, but I'd rather be decent. I'd rather be the best version of myself. You guys ever listen to Higher Learning?
No.
Wonderful podcast with Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay. It's on the Ringer Network. But one of the things I love that Van was talking about in one of the most recent episodes, which was the Juneteenth episode, was he was talking about Robert Williams. Robert. Was it Robert? Yeah, I want to say it's Robert Williams and his wife. I want to say Ethel. So this is a person who was the he was the inspiration for what the Black Panthers eventually became. He was somebody who, went to the Marine Corps, came back to his hometown, which I want to say was in either North Carolina or South Carolina. I'm messing up all the facts. I got to actually do a little bit more research about it. But this was a person who specifically was about self-defense, but self-defense with being armed. And so the more I think about what he had did, it was just about, hey, we're not going to start anything, but we'll be prepared to finish it.
Exactly.
And I think, honestly, having that mentality about things and moving through things, that's the way my mother, kind of instilled in me. Because my father is very much live and let live until he's not. You take the boy out of Philly, you can't take Philly out the boy. But my mom was always like, hey, I have no problem with you ever ending a fight, but if I ever hear you start one, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And that's the thing, like that. I still operate by that. It's just like, I don't want to be in the fight because I don't like violence. I don't like seeing other people get hurt, even and especially when it's in sport, because I can't even watch. Like, I can still watch boxing, but UFC, like, even then, it's just like, I grew up doing martial arts and stuff. It's still one of those things where, I'm like, okay, these guys know the stakes and they're going at each other. That's okay.
That's a little easier, yeah.
But even then, there's only so much of it I can watch. But when the kids come up to you and they're like, Mr. Brown, I beat this girl's ass. You want to see? No! Why would I want to see you hurt somebody or you getting hurt?
Yeah.
I didn't get her. I whooped her ass. Did you not hear me say I whooped her ass? Mr. Brown, come on.
And look, my first question is why? What was you fought for?
Why?
And then once they bring up the reason, I make that reason look so little.
Yes.
So you really fought her because she wore the same dress or talked to the guy that you like? Did you talk to him?
Goodness.
Because he was probably entertaining both of y'all.
Yep.
Like, it's real, bro. It's really real. So, another thing I realized too, that I don't know if it makes me weird, but I feel like it does. But at the same time, I don't care because it makes me connect.
Good,
so
bro.
I feel like sometimes, definitely with the students, I'm too personal with them. Not like I'm giving them what they need, giving money out or something like that, or telling them my life. But at the same time, like, for example, there was a girl the other day at the program. I'm sitting in the hallway, watching the hall, make sure no kids going to the bathroom, stuck in there. She goes run to the bathroom crying. What's wrong? She didn't want to talk right now. She wanted to go up to the stall. I go get one of my other coordinators. Sadly, she's a white lady. She goes in the bathroom, try to talk to the student. The student don't want to talk to her. Find the student come out the bathroom, and I was like, what's wrong? I'm like, nah, I can't let you just go back to class like this. Let's go outside.
Yeah.
I went outside, talked to her for probably about 30 minutes, just listened to her rant and stuff, and she just broke. Bad breakup. She broke up with her boyfriend. He got the new girl, posting her on social media, and then blocked her. Right after she saw the picture, she blocked her, blocked the text message, friends texting her on the side. It's bad, you know what I'm saying? But I had to get there and I had to be real with her. Like, hey, I'm gonna excuse my language, but we ain't shit. We ain't work. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to be real with it though. Like,
yeah.
Like, he's sitting here entertaining something. You will focus on what you're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? You about to get 3 college credits. You about to go to Cali. What's he doing? Oh, he's at home doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? You about to walk out better than he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes that's why I realized, let me take off my filter.
Yeah.
Because they need it.
Yes.
Because when you take that filter off, they show you that you're real human.
Yes.
And then once you do that, they can connect a little bit better. Because that's how their mama would talk to them probably.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And AJ, let me just tell you, man, you ain't do a damn thing wrong. Because it's so funny, too. Because whenever anything happens like that, the number one thing I end up having to do is I will step out into a hallway. I'll step out into a hallway, I'll pull the kid into a hallway, and most of the time, enough of the kids have had it happen where they don't go, ooh, they don't do that bullshit anymore, thank goodness. Yeah. But, it takes a little while to just kind of, yes, they will. Yes, they will. Yeah. Middle school's the worst. Yeah. But the number one thing it goes back to the biblical allegory of the Good Shepherd, which is to say, hey, I know the flock is going to be okay because they've got each other. But this one right here, they're alone. And now I've got to go get them. And so,
and so the reason I said I felt weird is because my coworkers didn't see it that way. They saw it as in who's watching the class, you know, something else could be going on. I'm like, I've got my nigga, they in there doing ACT paperwork. They don't give up. They not these kids ain't
on both.
They probably falling asleep. Like I'm not worried about them right now. This girl right here is in a mentally unstable state. I need to step to the side and check her. And there was a time too where it's like, you know, we walk off and I'm like, do we have all the kids? I think so. I don't like that word, I think so.
No.
I'm missing a student. So I'll go through and I'll count them all, and if I gotta go find some, or shit, a student lost her headphones. She lost black headphones at night in the grass. My dumb ass, I don't know why, but something hey mister, can you take me back? Where you lose them in the quad when you ran? I remember I seen you ran. And I went walked all the way back over to across the whole UNLV campus by myself to go see if I could find these headphones for the student.
Yeah.
My coworkers like, no, she lost them, they gone. But I'm like, I can't do that though. I can't just leave her hanging. She came through for a reason. I can't just leave you hanging.
My thing again too is just like, do you guys not see the possible consequences of this in the long term? Like, you're thinking about it in the moment, but like, if you see these kids are seeing you adults look out for them and watch out for them, and then if they can trust you, if they can trust and respect you because you're trusting and respecting them as a human being just as much, no matter the age, then we're gonna have a lot better life going on now. And don't let that stop just because of your adult ass hurt.
And it's gonna make it easier. So that next day, I had an event where it's supposed to be another chaperone with me. I have no idea where she was. That's past me. But I walked there's 88 kids. Usually we walk with about 6 chaperones for all 88 kids. Man, I walked 40 by myself to this event.
Oh wow. No
issues, no complaining. If anything, I kept asking too many questions because it was about fraternities. So, what's that, mister? What they doing over there, mister? And I'm just engaged with everybody, and they loving it. And then we moved them to the other for bingo after that. I took them all to bingo by myself, all 40 kids. Not one got lost, not one. I even had the girl with 80 autism over there with us. She was over there strolling. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, and then she told, thank you, miss, for taking me, all that stuff. I'm like, I'm sure they're not thanking everybody for walking back and forth to class, but I'm sitting here talking with them, asking whatever question you got. I'm not sugarcoating nothing, because I'm not here to sugarcoat. You're here to be educated, I'm going to educate you. I ain't about to go super deep, you know, talk about birds and bees, but...
we got to stay super, we got to stay, you know...
But there's a way I can explain it to you in a reasonable, understandable way. We can go from there, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to do my best I can.
And let me tell you right there, that is why the kids fuck with you. Because straight up, like, they're already convinced that you're here for a paycheck. So when you're telling them that you care, they're not convinced that this isn't something that you have to look at or watch a video how to care for kids. Exactly. You have videos that at CCSD we have videos that we have to watch. And then it's just little things, bloodborne pathogens, things like that. What to do in lockdowns and shit.
Real stuff.
But and so it's just like, how are they to know that you telling them that you care isn't something that you have been required to do? And in some cases, it is. In some cases, you are encouraged to, build personal relationships with the kids, but don't get too personal. And it's just like, we know the basics. We know not to tell them these things and everything like that, but you gotta actually trust the people who are in the room, the people who are actively doing what you do with the kids, what we do with the kids. You have to be in a mode that you're ready to trust them, because it's like, if not, why the fuck would you hire them? If not, why would you hire them?
Right.
And it belies, it behooves them to actually just say, hey, you know what? This is the person that we looked at. This is the person who we felt good about. Now we just need to make sure that the kids feel good about them. Oh, the kids do feel good about being in this room with this person?
We good.
Then we're fine. Because that's going to be a relationship that you have to give room, latitude, and grace to be built. And if you're not doing that, if you're not actively getting the hell out of teachers' way and not inundating them with all these other requirements and other things that Lord knows we don't necessarily need, the most important thing, are these kids safe?
Exactly.
Are they good? once they're good and once they're safe, are they learning? Because if you're not worried about those first two things, the learning thing is not going to happen.
It's impossible.
So what you did made it possible for that girl to actually go back and learn,
bro. Exactly.
And my thing too is like we always get like these trainings and things, but it's like so formal.
Yes.
And it's like, even though this isn't a truth, it makes you feel like you can't be you're weird while still getting the job done. But just because you're understand this formal training doesn't mean you can't be you.
Yes,
exactly, bro.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly where I get to the point of, you know, you already know me. I say all the time, I ain't about to let nobody change me. Like, I'm gonna go out there and do the job best I can. I'm gonna do my work, but I'm still. Them kids walk in my classroom. I got Pandora playing, and it might be some Frank Sinatra, some jazz music. Or I might mess around and have these little West Coast going on all the time because it's Wednesday and I'm feeling like that right now. And they heard worse, so it's like, y'all can vibe, Mr. AJ, because we vibe in here, and I want y'all to know you have a safe place when you come in here, and I give you that space. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. Some kids don't need much help. You know, they just need somewhere they can go make a phone call. And like, I'll see, I'll turn the music down for you. You know what I'm saying? I'll call your mom for you, whatever it is, you know? So I think that right there is actually like really, really dope, bro, because like I said, I've seen it where, they just don't connect, bro. They just don't connect. They treat them like they're adults. And I'm like, I understand you want to treat them like they're adults, but at the same time, you got to treat them at their age, you know?
And let the kids be kids.
Let them be kids still. Let them run around. Let them joke and goofy and whatever.
There's so much, there's a whole lot of scholarship, and I'm glad that I'm glad that you guys mentioned that, because when we talk about, you know, community and representation and all that other stuff, we as black people we're given more adult latitude than we should be at an earlier age. Black boys are perceived as being older than they are at an earlier age. Black girls are hypersexualized a lot earlier than other girls, be it because of either rapid development physically or because of what other things, which is just like, you need to remember these are still children. And even when they graduate and go off to college, they're in that weird area. Legally, they're adults, but mentally, they're still kids.
Still kids, bro.
They are still kids, which means they're gonna do dumb kid shit. The hope is that you have given them enough latitude, enough grace, and enough space to make some of these stupid mistakes in a controlled environment.
Nice and easy.
Exactly, because
you gotta provide that space up until they're like 25.
You really do. Like, they can't even rent a damn car until they're 25. You know why? Because they still do dumb shit behind the wheel. We were, the whole Shador Sanders thing. Homie is, what, 23? 22, 23? Something like that, right? He basically, like, he's gotten a couple tickets for speeding. Like, we're talking 100 plus miles an hour. But it's not even that. It's that he missed the court dates, too. And so when we look at that stuff, it's just like, yo, my guy, this is a situation in which you are dealing with grown-up money. And I know that, you know, you've been given latitude to be a kid, and because of, you know, who your daddy is and because of everything you've done and everything like that. But that's a situation where it's like, okay, now you've got to progress. Now I need you to take a giant leap forward. But the average 23-year-old ain't dealing with that.
Exactly.
The average 23-year-old is just trying to figure out, you know, I'm at mom's house and either I finished school or I moved out with my roommates and everything like that, and this job is cool and it allows me to pay the bills, but what the hell else am I going to do after this? That's what the average 23-year-old is about.
I hate to say that. You that's about the average 26 years old.
Shit.
The average 23 years old is man, I'm off work and where the fun at? You know what I'm saying? I have no rules and I can do what I want to now, and where the hoes at? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand that.
Where the hoe at? Where the D at? But that's what it is.
But no, I do agree with you on that because and then we'll go to our next topic. But I was watching. I hate the show. You can get the free TV on Amazon. They have a whole channel dedicated to Dance Moms, I think it's called. Oh, I hate that show, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's the dancing show where, you know, the little girls are they're little girls. They're on the dance team, but they make them they doing full dance. So they literally walk through like this. Oh. And they all had their makeup on, their hair pulled back, and they had to walk straight up their back. And they up there doing 100% adult dance movies, but they're kids.
That is.
But the moms push it.
That's gross.
And it's crazy because UNLV, we had UNLV doing an event, and then they're having a dance, something, recital or something. Yeah. And that's so funny. You see the little girls walking upstairs, they had their little bag, and they walk with their hands on their hips, and that's the form they have to be in for the whole rest of the day. And their hair all tied up, and they got makeup and eyeliner, and they have everything. Trying to make these little 8-year-old girls look like they're 16.
Hypersexualization of little girls when they should just be being kids.
They should have barrettes in their hair, and they should be running around. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, I think stuff like that's weird to me still.
It's not just weird, bro. It's weird, it's gross, and it's just like, how do you expect, you know, certain corners of society to actually do better and be better if you're telling another corner of society you need to be these things for this particular reason? Mm-hmm. Do you think the whole this particular reason thing is going to actually stick with that kid? Mm-hmm. No. Hell no. They're going to be wondering why they don't get to wear makeup and do all those other things at this particular venue and in these particular places. And then it's just like, you know, it just puts them in a situation that no child should actually be in.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we glorify it by giving space and latitude and attention to these dance moms.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, bro, like, can we not?
And there was something you said too in response to that situation with the dance moms or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Before we get into the next topic, what is the line for the weird?
Yo.
And so, okay, I'm gonna tell you what my line is right now. The weird, I wouldn't find it weird if it was I want to use this properly. If it was a female, how do I want to say this? Okay, when I was younger, it was cheerleading for females, football for males.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you went over there and you coaches, you had male coaches, cheerleading coaches were female. Mm-hmm. A lot of this dancing stuff, the coaches is a gay dude, you know what I'm saying, who is trying to convert, you know, trying to make this little girl look older than she really is because they're trying to whatever. And I kind of feel that's when the weirdness comes in, because it's like, just because you're a male who says you are this type does not give you the right to say that these kids should be dressed this way, act this way, do this, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like. It's weird when it's like other people put it on the person when they actually never went through it. You know, so it wouldn't be right for me to go to a basketball practice and say you need to do this, you need to do that, and blah 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 blah.
But you play football.
I played football my whole fucking life. I had no basketball skills. What the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing going to a cheerleading camp and saying spirit fingers just because I saw in the movie? You know what I'm saying? Or because I watched so much cheerleading, I assume I know what I'm doing. Like, no.
Yeah, and
I need you have to have your hands dirty, like.
And that's the thing. I think honestly, and it's kind of funny because, like, that is a realm in which, you know, like, that's a realm in which a lot of people are, you know, openly queer and things like that. And that's all well and good, but at the same time, it's just like, being a male, whether you are gay or straight or anything like that, you don't necessarily always have to worry about the hypersexualization that goes along with that.
Exactly.
And so I think that is a danger. I think honestly,
can you explain that a little bit more, sorry?
No, you're good. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but like, I think, and I know a lot of this because I grew up in, you know, performing arts and stuff like that. I attended dance classes when I was a kid, and of course, you know, we had classes where there were both boys and girls. Very few boys, but my mom thought it was important that I got, you know, exposed to the arts and stuff like that. And so we do like ballet stuff and Alvy Ailey kind of contemporary dance stuff and stuff like that. But you know, with the girls, they weren't necessarily wearing makeup. It wasn't anything like the pageantry of what you're talking about. But with the boys, of course, you know, the boys who were the most talented for things like that, they were effeminate. And of course, you grow up and you're like, oh, yeah, of course you gay, bro. Like, that makes sense. Well, I'm glad that you found you. But at the same time, and this is something I haven't necessarily seen, but I haven't seen the show, but I have seen in certain, like, you walk past in some of these competitions. I was walking through a casino the other day and I saw, like, this whole team of teenage girl dancers, and I don't even know if they were full teenagers. I want to say they were maybe like 12, 13, like middle school.
They look like they're 18 years old.
But the coach was a very kind of militant, snap on, do this, hit that, gay male. Mm-hmm. And so it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, I can understand you hitting this because this is your world, but why do we need that makeup? Why do we need those hairstyles? Why do we need those particular things? And also, why is it you who's pushing that?
And the reason
I get that.
And then so my mindset is they're cheerleaders. Mm-hmm. How many little girl cheerleaders do you see don't look like little girls? You know what I'm saying? A lot of little girl cheerleaders, even though they're cheerleaders, they have their uniform on, they may have a little bit of makeup on, but they still may have braids in their hair. They may have something to still show you signs that this still is a young girl. You know what I'm saying? This still is a young person. So, you know.
So, another question just play
devil's advocate
a bit. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, so would it be less weird if you had a female cheerleading coach also pushing that same type of intensity to the little girls?
I'll tell you the truth, I find it weird no matter who the coach is.
Yeah, I find it weird no matter what of pushing adultness on a child that doesn't need that. Definitely if they're not in the... But yeah, I just find it odd. I don't know.
And you know what's kind of strange is I literally was just looking at this because my son is 17. But I look at, his age and younger, and I'm just like, well, damn, he's got a younger sister. His mom had another baby after our relationship ended. And like, I am concerned. I do worry about her and things like that because did y'all know about this whole thing where apparently like kids, like we're talking between the ages of 8 and like 13, they're now becoming influencers on TikTok for like beauty products.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What?
Weird.
What are we doing? Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's weird.
I think when we talk about exactly what's weird and what's, I'm like, look, I will own all my weird shit. A lot of my weird shit is the same as your weird shit. And honestly, if I weren't the degree of weird that I am, I don't think the kids would rock with me the way they do.
Right.
Because it shows them I don't just have to be this one particular brand of black male. Mm-hmm. I can be this and still be this. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. I'm like, I wanted to show them, like we said earlier, we have multitudes. We are not just one particular thing. But when you're a kid, I think one of the things that you need to not be, and one of the things that we need to not force upon you, is grown folk shit.
Yeah.
There are so many times when I remember being a kid and like I said, I was inquisitive. And I think back and I'm like, if I asked a question and my parents' answer would be like, that's grown folks' business. That ain't none of your business, that's grown folks' business.
Yeah.
We don't have
that boundary no more.
Yes.
And
we
that,
don't.
And that's like the stuff that gets me. Like, yes, maybe keeping some stuff from me wasn't good. You know what I'm saying?
Like, but explain it.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it is not my business to call my mama to say, where you at? You should be home who you with. That's grown folks' business. But you have kids that do that. That feel they have the right.
Yeah.
Funny as fuck. Just watching Fear Factor last night, right? There was Mom Son special.
Wait, Fear Factor still on?
I get free TV on Samsung.
It's
like a whole Fear Factor channel all day long, right? But there's a scene where they had to do a challenge where they had to drive under. Mom had to drive a car under a truck. They had to lock in, then climb up the truck. Do some wild crap on the truck. The two moms went first. They did it perfectly. Boom, boom, good. Man, the last mama, she went and crashed. Her son cussed her out.
What?
Like, you fucking bitch, you can't fucking drive.
Wow.
Drive, bitch, let go. And then she crashed again. He just goes off. And then she's just sitting there crying. I'm sitting here like...
You know what I'm gonna ask.
What? She white, of course, yeah.
Okay.
So the black family won. The black family won, and I laughed because I'm looking, look, whether the mama would have crashed or not, the black son would have came at her so different.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, even though mom fucked up, I ain't about to cuss you out. I'm gonna
That's
say,
my mom.
Nope.
Yeah. Ooh, it's okay. Sorry. It's alright. But he chewed her out, and then she just sat there crying. I can't drive. And I'm saying like, And then, they had to cut the camera because he was really going off. And I'm sitting here like,
fuck you, little Johnny.
Yeah, and I'm like, for me, I'm like, that's weird as hell because my mom would have told me up.
Yes.
My dad would have told me up. My dad would have come to the camera and told me up.
And you know what the crazy thing is? Here's the really crazy thing. What I'm learning, especially as I, get a little bit older and I see a little bit more and everything like that. One of the things that I love about being from the East Coast, but primarily growing up in Vegas, is you start to see, and then like getting to go down south for some occasions and everything like that, you get to see it's not always just cultural. Sometimes it's regional. Because let me tell you, there is this thing that happens here, and it happens with children of every, ethnicity and everything like that. Sometimes their parents are more concerned with being cool dad, being cool mom, being their friend, and not necessarily being their parent. Because let me tell you, there are some white moms who would snatch their kid up in a quick freaking minute. Yeah. And that's the thing. And that's what I'm like, exactly. And not white mom married to a black dad, or white mom, no, white mom, white dad, yak.
Don't play that shit.
Don't play it. Exactly. And what I'm learning is a lot of the times it is cultural, but it's also regional. Like there's something about a white mom from the South, or a white mom from the Midwest, or hell, and this is something I'm starting to see, but sometimes you'll even see because I will say this, dads don't get their due in any particular culture like that, but I think more often than not, the person that we look to for discipline, even though it's unfair, it's always the mom.
Oh, mom's the discipline. Yeah.
Mom's the disciplinarian. Father is the follow-up. But what I'm starting to see here, especially because we're getting to a point in society where we don't necessarily treat our kids as if they can be wrong. We talk about it taking a village, but what they're talking about is it takes a village not to necessarily raise a child, but it takes a village to watch your kid while you go get your swerve on. And that's when we get all pissy. That's when we get pissed off. But I love when I come in to a parent-teacher conference and I have a mother who isn't black, because it's typically black mothers who do this, but they have the list of questions that they're going to ask specifically about the kid, and then they break it down and they're like, okay, so this right here is what I expect him to do. Does he do these things? And if he does not do these things, why have I not been contacted sooner?
Right.
And typically my answer is, I don't want the first time I talk to you
to be bad.
And I don't want us to have that relationship where you believe I cannot manage my classroom because your child is such a disturbance that I can't handle him or her or them. But here's the other thing. What are you going to do? Because you've got your own job where you have to put food on the table for that family, however large the family might actually be. But the thing that kind of gets me is just, you're here because you care about your kid. You're also here because you had to take time off from your job. You had to actually provide, sitter or something like that for your other children. Or you had to come at a time in which you could A, get off your job, and then B, your other kids aren't necessarily waiting for you to be picking them up or anything like that. So being a parent is generally difficult, but one of the things that I'm starting to see now is once you show them that you got their kid and that you're going to hold their kid accountable, especially if they're also working to hold their kid accountable, because the one thing that I start to see in parents and their evolution right now is, look, you might have been a very good disciplinarian when they were like a tiny child, but have you modulated your approach as they get older? Because it's not the discipline that's going to keep them in line. It's the trust. Kids aren't necessarily afraid of getting their ass whooped anymore or anything like that, and they don't necessarily need to be. Let's keep it real. It's a generational thing. We don't. And I think honestly, but you gotta.
Some kids need
some kids need their ass whooped. Some kids
it might
they
be
do.
as harsh as normal.
Exactly, but physical discipline doesn't necessarily always need to be the thing. But the removal of trust, that thing, and I think honestly that as you get older. Because moms, very much, I brought you into this world, I'll take your ass right out. But it's always been, the moms I see that do it well are always more effective when they say straight up, I do my job. I put a roof over your head, I do these things, I do all of these things, I go to the games, I give you money for your sports, I do all these particular things. Are you doing your job?
Exactly.
Because your job is to be a kid. Your job shouldn't necessarily be to put food on the table. And I know that socioeconomically, we can't always determine who and what's going to be that.
Exactly.
But if you straight up tell your kid, it is your job to be a child, it is your job to get good grades, it is your job to behave in this class, to learn something, so this way you can get the hell out of here and make something of yourself, and you're not doing your job right now, depending on the relationship you have with the kid, especially if you built that up by the disciplining when you're young, it's more effective than saying, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Because the truth of the matter is, other than maybe a bruise or a scar, if it's real bad, that ass whooping don't necessarily always sit in their minds.
Yeah, if you're used to it by now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That ain't even hurt.
Not even hurt. More of like, I get the more mental level of like, she give me whooping, whatever, I'll get over it next. You know, it's like playing football. I know I'm gonna get hit.
Yeah.
So let me just go out and have fun with the game and then go from there, you know? And that's the kids that, they don't care, bro.
Yep. So but if you put it in their mind that all these damn sacrifices I done did, I'm disappointed in you because you didn't pull your weight. Ooh, that shit hurts and that shit hits. And when it does, those are the kids who, when they get it, and those are the ones, especially when they can't stand your ass in that moment, those are the ones who still come back.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's 100%, bro, because I feel like that too. There's a lot of students that, when they came to first see me, they wanted me to do the stuff for them. I'm not making a call for you. I'm not sending an email for you. I'll help you out.
Yep.
I'll guide you. I'll be right here on the phone with you, next to you, but you got to make the call and you got to talk to the person. I'll close the door. We can make it whatever, but I'm not doing it for you.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that constantly come back and, can you help me out with this? Can you show me this? Can you guide me on this way? And they need the guidance compared to somebody who always give them what they want. Now they have to earn it, and they would appreciate earning it.
Yeah.
Because then I'll hype them up when you earn it. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
absolutely.
Let's go. You get it. You apply for college now. You officially a college student. Like, you know.
I will be your biggest cheerleader if you still try. I'm like, I will reward effort all damn day.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's 100%, fellas. So, okay, cool. So let's go ahead and go to part 2 of this conversation then. I'm actually going to switch it up on y'all a little bit. So
that's all right. Do your thing, man.
And I think it's actually going to work still. So, one of my questions for you guys is, and you kind of talked about earlier with me, with the whole student and me being weird and actually, you know, being more compassionate. How has being weird benefited you in life? You know, like how has that benefited you? Definitely the things that you like. People always say I'm weird for this, but it works for me and it benefits me. You know.
I mean, I'll kick this one off. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, I don't think that I'd be where I am if I weren't some degree of weird, or at least my degree of weird. I just never understood why I needed to behave in a way that somebody could say, oh, well, you're just like so-and-so. You're just like this person. You're just like that person. And it's just like, no, I'm me. You know, it's just like, and the truth of the matter is, some people are going to rock with it, some people are not. And the ones who do rock with it, like, you'll run into those people later on in life. And one of my guys, and I love him to death, his name is Dion Porter. Dion was one of those kids, just like, we were good friends in middle school and saw each other every once in a while in high school and everything like that. But athlete, smart. It's funny too, because like what we have to do is we have to decide between smart and academic, because they're not always the same thing. And you know, he was very smart and kind of academic, but you know, the thing about Dion was he always tried to give latitude for other people to be who they were. You know, and the truth of the matter is, you know, we were growing up middle school, gangster rap, everything like that. So everything was about what you can do and who you with, who you affiliated with, what's your sense.
What you listen to right now.
Exactly. And so, like, you know, when I would tell him, I was like, yo, you know, I'm a church boy. I'm listening to Kirk Franklin. But at the same time, I did hear the new Wu-Tang. You know, and it's just like, I very much, you know, he would listen and just be like, huh. You know, I wouldn't have messed with that before you said to mess with it, but I listened to it, wasn't bad. You know, and it's just like, to this day, I think, honestly, like, I have a weird relationship with the church. And I don't mean weird as in, you know, strange shit happened to me or anything like that. Nothing like that. It's just, you grow up and you see a degree of hypocrisy, and you're just like, are we not getting better with this? Are we not, like all those things? I'm sure y'all have been there. And but at the same time, like, some of my best friends I met were still in church and those particular things. So being able to kind of move through that area of blackness and then get to see Dion years later, I'm over here parking. My son was just born, and as I park, I see this garbage truck right here, and they needed to back up to actually let me into my parking space. All of a sudden I get out the truck and I just hear, is that my nigga Kenny Brown? And I look, and it's Dion. It's Dion on the damn truck. And I'm like, oh shit, is that Dion? And so it's so funny looking back at that. And he even said to me that day, he was just like, man, you was never afraid to be who the hell you were. Mm-hmm. You were never afraid to be who you were. And he said, I didn't always understand it, but you never made me feel less than because I didn't understand it. You always tried to bring me in on it. Mm-hmm. He said, anytime that, we looked at you as if you were strange or anything like that, if we wanted to just pick on you or anything like that, like, you always had a snapback for us and everything like that. He said, because you're quick-witted like that. But the thing that I loved was when we started asking questions, you had answers for us. Mm-hmm. Like, you would actually explain why you thought this way. Mm-hmm. And I think looking back at it,
do that, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think, honestly, my thing is, more than anything, I'm curious. The things I'm not curious about, I just have no interest in, really. Mm-hmm. And I it's like, okay, can I develop an interest in this? And I'm just like, nope, I just don't give a fuck. And it's just like, okay, all right, this big ass world, I don't need to know everything. Mm-hmm. And I think, honestly, that part where it's just like, I'm curious about the things I'm curious about. There's some things I look at and I'm like, y'all can have that. I don't think I'm interested at all. I'm not going to shit on you for wanting to know. But I think my curiosity and just the fact that I do have a lot of things I do want to know. And I think if people approached things from a more humanistic perspective, where it's just like, you really just want to know. I mean, you're going to say it. You're going to probably ask it in a way that makes you somehow feel secure. And if you want to say, hey, why you doing that gay ass shit over there? And it's just like, okay, so you think this is gay ass shit because it strikes you as something that real niggas don't do. Mm-hmm. And so, like, part of me was just like, I don't think I'm ever going to be the things that a quote unquote real nigga is. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like, I could fight my ass off, but I'm not out here ever trying to start a fight. I learned martial arts primarily for self-defense. Mm-hmm. I've never been a violent person in that way, but also, like, if you flip that switch, it's really hard for me to flip it back, which is one of those things. I'm like, I don't have the, I'm gonna be okay because I could just flip this switch and no. I'm like, no. If I'm here,
and that's what it is. It's not a switch. It's more like a water level, right? Yeah. If that shit starts to flood, you
exactly,
fucked up,
and that's
you should let that out. You made me flood.
Exactly.
And to add to that weirdness too, where I kind of picked it up as well, not only just knowing myself, but also just like Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Don't make me pull a Gohan, bro.
Yes.
Don't make me pull Don't make me overflow in that capacity.
Yes.
Because it's not going to be good for anybody. No. And even though that I know that I'm going to do what I can to get it out on top because you pushed me this far in the beginning, doesn't mean I want to do it, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is where we're at because you wanted to take it here.
Yeah.
Because you thought you had something to prove to somebody. And I'm just like,
we're here now.
Yeah, I'm just like, that curiosity got you. It's going to kill the cat. Because, fuck. But the healthy curiosity, the healthy, hey, I want to know this. And how do I get to do this? Like, I just started rereading Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. I just started rereading it. I literally take I keep these chairs, these nice ass chairs I got from Harbor Freight. I take it out to the park at sunset and I just sit and I just read. And more often than not, I'll get people who will be on their little walks or jogs or whatever, walking a dog, and they'll just come by and they're like, oh, what are you reading? And it's funny, but to see a nigga with a book in public, everybody always wants to know what you're reading. It doesn't matter. It could be the little smallest toddler who just wants to come up and take a look at your book and everything like that, or it could be the oldest person who's just like, oh, what book is that? That looks like a pretty good book. You seem very engrossed in it, and it's just like, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing that kind of brings me peace. I love nature. I love being outdoors. I love a good hike. It's too damn hot to be doing that shit out here, but I did something for the first time since I was very young, and since I was very young, I was always with somebody, but I drove my car up to fucking Lee Canyon, and I took a hike on my own, and it was wonderful. At damn near the end of the hike and everything like that, I stopped halfway back down, and I see this huge just field, and there's people in this field, and there's also wild horses in this field, just chilling, eating grass, not fucking with anybody. There was a little colt, and you could tell that it was just born some time ago because it was still kind of wobbly and everything like that. Being able to just grab a blanket or grab a chair and just put it down and just look at the fucking clouds pass you by, that's the kind of shit, like to be that still for a moment and not have to actually worry about what anybody else is expecting of you. I think that is something that everybody deserves.
Right.
But it's also something that we rarely, if ever, get as black men, because for some odd reason, there's always something that somebody needs us to be. And God forbid if you are not that particular thing at that particular time, because then they come for your blackness, they come for your masculinity, they come for everything that they have put on you. And the whole thing that you just wanted to do was watch a fucking cloud. Like, it's... For me, I've taken my time and I've learned that, you know what? I need my cloud time.
I need my peace, bro.
I need my peace. I need my time to just do nothing.
And I mean, that's one thing too, which I'm just happy in my relationship is like she allows me the time to do that.
Yeah.
Like my personal time, which I've always, which I can't say always, which I've started to do so in the past couple of years, just being on my own, is just, dude, I like playing games. I haven't gamed like anything since I was a kid. I like computers. I like watching my videos. Let me just set up my spot.
Yeah.
I was doing music. I'm just starting to get back into music again. I had a wonderful time last night. And it was just like having those people around you that you've grown with selectively that allow you to do that because you do the same thing for them.
Yes.
It's just a wonderful thing because now it's like, cool, I got somebody with me on my side that she's doing her own thing, and we do our own. We just got to watching a movie, and I took a nap, blah blah blah, and then she took a bath, do her thing, and then we're just chilling.
Yes.
But just having that moment, whether you're alone or with somebody, is just a magical thing, and I think that's where a lot of latitude in my life started to happen. Was just giving my space to even grow and just be me without anybody else.
Yeah, right. That's huge. I mean, that's why we were talking about before you started recording. I'm like, I'm not dating before. I need that time to kind of recoup my peace.
Yes.
The ability to go, like, if I just want to do shit at the drop of a hat. My friends are at a different point in their life. Yeah. You know, at the time that the year I got divorced, they both got married. And so it's just like, and now, you know, one of them had their child, another one's pregnant. And so it's just like, okay, so now we're at kind of different points to this. But the one thing I have to know and realize is it's not that we're, you know, or you're not good friends because I don't see you all the time. It's never that. It's just they're not drop of the hat. Friends, and you know what? That's okay. We live life right now. So when that happens, it's just like the thing you have to learn how to do is be more comfortable with just your company.
And I was just gonna say too, and just from my perspective, and you can go there. Like coming from a different perspective of me being younger, like as I'm reaching the end of my 20s. Yeah.
Oh, damn, you're young.
I'm like 20,
Oh,
27? Yeah.
Oh, God bless, bro. Okay.
But, like, I remember, I think it was around 24, 25, maybe when my brain fully developed and it just happened subconsciously, but it was just like, I'm done chasing this relationship because I feel like I need to.
Yes.
Right now, I've been hitting. At that time, I was hitting the gym. I was coming back playing Apex with my brother and then my other brothers, and you know, just chilling. And when I decided to go out, I would go out. But even then, I was just like, I'm tired of doing that. I just want peace.
Yes.
And fuck having anybody around that I don't necessarily want to hang with.
Yeah.
This is great. Let me lock in.
Yeah.
Let me chill. I started to do school. I had a good bank job that was making a couple months, good couple bucks. I was building my savings. I was just having fun being me without the longing for somebody else. And then that's where a lot of my personal growth came to where I'm able to handle the fruits of my labor now.
Yeah, you gotta enjoy them now.
Yes.
And actually pay attention to them and see them, you know.
Yeah.
And I love that thought. And then one thing I was gonna add what Kenny said was, you know, they're not drop the hat friends no more. We still friends, and it's like your true friends is always gonna be your true fans no matter what.
Yeah.
But like you said, as you get older, you realize we don't have drop of a hat lifestyle
At all.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say this. I bet you a dub them friends are good emergency friends.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But we understand the difference in emergency. Now, 'cause emergency used to be, no, I need somebody to go to the club with me tonight.
Yeah.
That's not a drop that hat emergency thing. I can go to the club, you know what I'm saying? But I got a car accident, I need some help. Yeah, my homie
They'll show up
and roll up. You know what I'm saying? You know, if somebody happened, but to say I need somebody to do this, that, or whatever. Yeah. So for my weirdness that I think is cool, and I'm just truly accepting it. You know, my people may not understand it, but whatever. I sometimes have no problem not showing up and leaving. You know, I have no problem doing that. I hate to say, I may sometimes feel bad, but then at the same time, there's been too many times in life that when I didn't show up, I just didn't feel it. I'll get a call the next day, or I'll catch up to see what happened, and it turns out I'm glad I missed it. Because everybody got sick, or a scuffle broke out, or something like that happened, and it was like, I'm glad it happened.
There was, bro, that's how I knew I was in a good ass spot. Because when they called me afterwards, I was laughing to myself.
You laugh, right? You be like, thank God. Because you're upset yourself. You're like, fuck, man, I didn't go. They probably hate me. But then the next day you realize, I didn't miss nothing. And I'm glad I did miss. I probably missed something, but I'm glad I missed that.
Dog, it was a night where fucking, there was a rape event happening at it was We All Scream, and it was like a Thursday, and I'm still working at the bank. It's a 9 to 5. I'm not trying to get fucking lit, but you know, fuck it, I'll go. So I went by myself. I went with two friends, but I got there by myself. I'm just chilling, blah blah blah. Talking with the barista. She chill as hell. My friends come in, I'm chilling with them, bouncing, blah, blah, blah. Met this one person, cool. And then my other rave friends pulled up and I didn't know they were coming, so I was like, oh, cool, blah, blah, blah. And they were trying to get me to stay past 10, 11. I set that as my max before I even
I gotta go. I gotta go.
I'm trying to sleep. I need rest. Left. Get home. As I'm in bed, about to go to sleep, I get a call. Oh yeah, fucking so and so got into blah blah blah, and then Cuddy got passed out or some shit like that, and then the cops are called, and she got kicked out, and I'm like, damn, that's funny as fuck because I'm not staying out, bro. I put a limit on myself. I know my reasons. Y'all don't even gotta understand. I know my reasons. I don't want to go. I don't want to stay out.
Man, you know it's so funny too. One of the people I love, and if I ever meet him, I'm gonna let him know just how much his little just isms have stuck in my head because he reminds me so much of my father, and that's Herm Edwards. He's the guy who you'll see every once in a while. Hello, you play to win the game, and that guy. So one of my favorite things he ever said was, and it's funny because he says it. My grandparents used to say it. Nothing good happens after 10 o'clock.
And
it's so funny too because it's if it's good and it's gonna happen at your house, but outside, nah, not so much. But on some real shit, man, the kids and it extends into adults because I think we've had this kind of prolonged adolescence just because of the economy being the way it is, certain, jobs, we're getting married later, things like that are happening. We don't even know whether or not we want to have kids at that particular age. And if we are having kids, it's happening at a later age for our generation. But two things: fear of missing out, fear of a better option.
Yeah, FOMO.
Yes, FOMO and FOBO. And it's so funny. FOMO is not really a thing that hits me anymore. Like, exactly. But the fear of a better option thing, that still occurs every once in a while. And I'm realizing that it still happens with, full on like grown adults or people who are middle age and beyond now. My father.
So I don't say FOMO and fear of a better option is the same thing in my eyes. Because the better option is what am I missing out on? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I feel like it's a better option. But go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. It's just it's so funny. And I know my father's probably going to listen to this podcast, so I'm probably going to hear an earful when I get to Philly for Thanksgiving. But man, it's so funny because I think I actually told him about this too, and I just kind of made a joke where, when we were kids living out here, he used to go back to Philly like almost every summer or something like that. And every once in a while, like he'd take us with him. We'd go either back to Philly or up to upstate New York where my grandparents, my mother's parents lived. And, he would always just talk about how much better Philadelphia was or how much greater this was and everything in Philly and everything like that. So he just kept saying that. And then eventually he and my mom divorced. They moved back east. And we went about a good, let's say, 10 years or so before I started hearing my father talk about, well, I do kind of miss the mountains every once in a while. Or, I wonder how that person's doing over here. And it was just like, well, you built a life out here. Like, you built a life, you had a family, you did those particular things. And now, going back there, you got people that you dealt with that are still your family and everything like that, but it's different.
It's different.
And so, I was hearing my father talk about how, maybe when he retires, he and my stepmom might end up moving back out here. And he's like, I miss this. I miss the mountains. I miss these things. And, I had a good life out there and everything like that. And I'm just like, I immediately said to him, I said, Paparoski, you love where you ain't. And so, exactly. And I thought about it and I was just like, I realize we look back at the past from time to time and we see things and then we're just like, why am I thinking of this particular thing at this particular time? Is it because I have no hope for the future? Or is it because the present is kind of stagnant or the present is not exactly where I want it to be? And then it's just like, yeah, it's that. Because I do have hope for the future, but at the same time, I find comfort in the past.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I don't always find comfort in that past because it's just like, I'm here now because of past decisions that got me to where I need to be. And it's just like, I need to find comfort, find love, find peace in the present. Yeah, because I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be one of those niggas who just loves where they ain't.
So my thought is too, right, I've been having to stop recently. Cause this times too where I'm like, why am I thinking of the past? And my first answer is always, it's the alternate universe living out this life. I'm just connecting on this deep level. I'm connecting on a deeper level. Yeah. Maybe I can send a message through the other universe back to my past self and say, hey, don't fuck with that.
Hey, don't do this. Don't do it.
Something like that. But then my other thought I've been having recently is so they always say that when you have trauma in your life, your brain sometimes blocks it out. And you start to just, you can remember a lot of good things in your life, and it's sometimes hard to remember some of the bad because you numbed yourself to block it out. And it's like a lot of times you start to think that thought, and you forget all the bad that went through it, which makes you feel that regret. Like, for example, your pops. I'm sure he misses the mountains and the view. Yeah. But do you you ready for this 110 degree weather?
Right.
Dry heat.
Right.
And no water nearby.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Are you ready for that? Because that's something that when he get back out here, you can be like, you know what? I hated that.
Yep.
It's kind of like, equivalent to going back to an ex. It's like, oh man, she probably has some bomb good. But are you cool with the possibly getting stabbed and cussed out? And,
right.
Where the fuck you at? You know what I'm saying? Are you fine with that again? Do you want to go back to all that? You missed that too, or you just missed this portion?
Yeah. I don't think it's bad to reminisce.
Oh, it's not bad to reminisce at all.
But to strive in any capacity for it is that I think that's where the trap floor is.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes hard to see, especially if You just haven't developed in that way yet.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's no fault to you, but at the same time, like, it is your duty to be aware of that.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, for lack of a better word, compartmentalize it. It's just like, that was a time.
Exactly. It was
now.
a time. It's not now.
Exactly. And that's my mindset too. It's like, it was a time. If it wasn't for that time, it wouldn't be at this time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I could have missed that, but at the same time, if I would have took a different step to the right, I probably would not be in this position right now.
Yeah.
I needed that step, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that right there is beautiful. Definitely, like you said, with it comes back to like, oh, we were back then, but at the same time, that's what made me unique in this way, shape, and form, you know? Like, one of my weird things I want to say that I feel just makes me good, though, and it's like, I don't know, I never think it's weird, but everybody tells me I don't know how you do it. But just be able to go out and talk to people and just be in person or just hosting trivia. Like, you see me up there.
Yes,
I have fun. I enjoy it.
Absolutely.
How many times do I fuck up a word, bro? You know it. Y'all know it. I be fucking up out there.
Yo,
I get to the point where I start skipping shit.
but the thing I love about you is you never let it get you down. And on top of that, and I hate when people do this because I immediately, especially that one white dude that
They'll
does that
scream
one
out
wake
the
up.
word.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm gonna snap that nigga's neck.
Yeah, I say all the
snap
time.
that nigga's neck. And it's just like, oh my gosh. I said, here's the thing. What you don't necessarily realize about vocabulary is it's not intelligence, it's exposure.
Exactly.
It's exposure.
And that's what it is, bro. I'm very intelligent. I can speak it, but
Absolutely.
when I see the word in person, I'm like,
Yes.
I don't know what this word is, and then it'd be something synonym. But I don't spell that word out every damn day. So
Exactly, and my problem is I'll hear the word all the time, or I'll just hear it just in passing.
I know exactly what it is.
But then I won't see it, and then I'll see the word, and I'm just like, what the fuck is that word? They're like, that's how you spell this. I'm like, no, it's not. That's not how I spelled it in my fucking head. What the hell?
I have no idea.
I am a notoriously horrible speller. So man.
So now on Deep Love, right? You said the same thing I was gonna say. I do always hear them scream it out.
Yeah.
And you see me. I have two responses. One, I ignore the fuck out you.
Yep.
Or two, I say, thank you. And I keep moving. Let you know I heard your ass figure that shit out.
Absolutely.
And then when I say the thank yous, usually the table right in front of me, this is now my support table.
Yes.
And throughout the rest of the game,
Absolutely.
if I get to something about the stumble, they'll just say it for me.
Yeah.
And I'll just keep rolling.
And that's the thing I love about you, because you let that shit roll off your back like a fucking duck in water, man.
I had to.
Speaking of which, I owe you a huge fucking apology because that damn door flew open and I wasn't expecting it to fly open.
Bro.
Oh my god. So the door, I'm coming out the bathroom, right?
Bro.
And that door just flew open. I was not expecting it to fly open the way it did. And I was just like, oh fuck. And then I just heard, damn nigga. And I was like, that sounds like AJ. I just heard about, oh shit, that's AJ.
So I only did that because that was my first time seeing you today.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me say what's up without saying what's up, you know? Yeah. So damn, nigga.
I immediately was like, oh shit.
I love to do that to people definitely like, so the other day I'm at the dispensary, right? I'm at the dispensary and I'm walking out the dispensary.
Yeah.
And then I get in the car and Jessica just got off work and she's walking into the dispensary. And we didn't communicate this at all.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing her walk to the dispensary. So I'm like, fuck it. Damn, girl! Damn cakes! You know, I just said something. She turned around, ready, like, you mother, and then realized it was me.
It's your man.
I just saw you, and I'm like, shit, I do it for you. Yeah. I do you all the time.
That shit is so fucking hilarious, bro.
Now we doing this.
Oh,
the
man.
kid was like, oh, they gotta fight. And then it's like, nah, we just here talk trash for 5 minutes and walk off.
Yep.
I feel like that one time I came up to pick up the Dave's Hot Chicken and it was like, oh yeah, the less smarter brother or something like that. I was like, I don't know.
But you sat there, you enjoyed it, the kids
Oh,
had
man.
fun. We just had fun with each other. It's like, yeah, so yeah, nah, bro. I didn't question. And then maybe funnier was later that night as I was leaving, I did the same thing to two white girls. So I'm opening the bathroom door and they're walking this way as I'm like swinging it open, so I almost like swung it in their face.
Yeah.
So now with their door, he needs some serious just upgrades.
Yeah.
Speaker system.
Yeah. Oh,
that
man.
door needs to swing both ways or just the inside. Even
Just inside.
not outside.
Just inside.
Yeah, because swinging it outside is kind of weird, but then the bathroom's kind of awkward too. So
It's a
you have to
weird
swing
ass
outside.
Yeah, it's a strange space. It's a cool space.
Cool space.
Cool people.
Best spot ever. But
Yeah, no, I mean,
that bathroom's weird though.
on some other shit though, because I'm gonna take a nigga break and just say, Dave's Hot Chicken, I got in on that late.
Me too.
I got it on that late, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's the sauce that makes
it. It is the sauce.
Yeah,
it is the sauce. It is the sauce. Yeah.
Pause 1 second, please. Don't laugh at me. Don't judge me.
I ain't judging.
But shit, I work for the schools, and I got Dave's Hot Chicken.
Oh!
So hella took me sauce packets. Nigga.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh.
No, that's the way. That's the way. Do it.
Oh.
Yo, on some real shit. I'm like, Chick-fil-A sauce ain't got nothing on that.
at all.
Nah, man.
Nah, so I take advantage, bro. So I'm like, shout out to school, and they gave us a whole.
Yo.
You know, you order 100 boxes of chicken.
Yeah.
They literally just give you a bag full of sauce, and half these kids don't use sauce or something.
Nah.
Or,
Yep.
You know, they can't stand spicy. Like I don't eat mild necessarily. I'm like, y'all soft little one.
Right. What is up with people who don't like do spicy nowadays, bro?
But they eat Takis.
Yes. Eat all the damn
And up
Takis.
to the point now, I think the Takis fuck their stomach up to the point where they can't stand real spice. They need the fake artificial spice. They can't stand real pepper. Real pepper seeds, fuck them up.
Oh my god! And you look at them and you're like, yeah, you know what? You know that's gonna make your shit weird, right?
Bro, guess what I saw? Even though if y'all saw this one girl, I would laugh so hard. She had top ramen noodles, went to DC, had ice cream, and then we did the Amazing Race next. Oh. Boy, we saw her running. I'm like, I'm like, this man go to the bushes over there and let it out, cause I don't want to see that. I know we know you gonna It's hot too.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they racing, so they come on.
Full sprint.
Full speed. And you see the track team kids, they moving. All the sports kids, they going.
Yeah.
Man, she wasn't
ready.
Yeah, I know.
Had that cramp.
Yeah. You know your team don't need you, so you can take a seat and some rest over there because your team don't need you anyway. It's only a 2-person game. Y'all got 6 people, so you good. But
be like, hey, you need you some Pedialyte.
Yeah,
you need you some salt water, basically. Shit.
Mm-hmm. So
salt water and lemon.
So let's go ahead and wrap up this episode, fellas. And I just want to, first ask a question of. If you had to give a message to a student who believes they're weird, or a human in general who believes they're weird, what would your message be? If they'd be like, they're using weird in a bad term. I'm a weirdo. I'm weird. I'm always told I'm weird. What would your message be to that person?
You're only as weird as you make yourself. And fuck everybody what everybody else say. You're only as weird as you make yourself. So if you keep thinking that you're weird or this is stupid or this is embarrassing, then that's going to be your greatest downfall. If you're going to be weird, just be weird. And most of that weirdness is normal human nature.
It's human nature.
Yeah, most of it. And there's other degrees, and I think you need to be aware of that and reflect upon it.
Yep.
But most of the time, like, man, if you wear off-colored socks, because that's just how you be, fucking do that. I'll joke.
I'll roast every time.
But
I accepted it by now.
I won't judge her or make her feel bad for it.
No.
It's like
it's all out of love.
It's all out of love.
Yeah.
And you can tell the difference. Just be still and take it in.
Yeah.
Are they really fucking with you, or are they just acknowledging you in the relationship that you've built? And that's also another thing to reflect on who's around you.
Yep.
If you can't tell, if you truly can't tell if they're really fucking with you or judging you or demeaning you or condemning you for whatever uniqueness that you have, then I don't think that's the person that you should probably be around. Or at least if you do like that person or have love for them, then that's a conversation.
Right.
And you should be able to have a conversation.
That easy. You know what I'm saying? I love that.
Very much so. I have kids who, say that they're weird and stuff all the time. I said, so am I.
Yeah.
I said, the lie is normalcy. The lie is normal. We all feel weird. We all feel, a little strange, a little odd. But the other question, the quickest one that, I'm weird. My first thing is just 3 words. Compared to what?
Exactly.
Compared to what? You do realize all these things that we think of as normal had to start off as strange somehow, some way. I said, trust me, if I go right now wearing exactly what I'm wearing, they're, to a certain place or a certain country or certain things like that, they're going to compare me to what they know. They don't know you.
Exactly.
And since they don't know you, they have nothing to compare you to, so of course you're gonna come off as weird. But if you're the first person they met that is this, especially if they live a little bit longer, life comes at them a little bit more, they'll start to see, you know who you remind me of? You remind me of this person. And then typically their answer is, or right after you remind me of this person, damn, I should have done better by them. Or damn, I wish I had known then what I know now.
Exactly.
We would have been friends, or I would have been kinder to them.
Right.
So it's just like, hey, stop comparing yourself to what everybody's expectation of you is supposed to be, and just be you.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the fuck that is yet, take the time to figure it out.
Yeah. So my response would be is, hey, Mr. AJ, they said I'm weird. You're not weird. You're unique. You know, we're all unique in our own ways, shapes, and forms. You're one of one. There's none like you before you, none to come. You may have people that look like you, but nobody's like you. You know, you may come for your mama or your daddy, but you all a different person in your own way, shape, and form. So embrace it, enjoy it, and then also remember too, the weird ones are the ones who get remembered.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that stand out. Those are the ones that everybody looks up to. Have your celebrities are weird. You know? Like, I laughed the other day because it wasn't really funny, but it actually perfect translation to this, I feel. There was they were talking about, DJ Khaled was telling a story how he was using a jet ski. He went to go see Rick Ross. And, you know, he in Florida, so he on jet skis. I'm going to roll up to Rick Ross' house on jet ski. He leaves right now at 8 o'clock, and he get lost.
Yeah.
So, you know, you think that if you lost in the middle of the ocean, you wouldn't be on Instagram.
Right.
Filming. He's on Instagram filming live because he want everybody to know he lost. And he's like, I had to do that because if I didn't, I was gonna have an anxiety attack. And I'm like, $1 million man on a jet ski in the middle of the ocean is having an anxiety attack? I thought that's some broke nigga shit, but
You're
guess
right.
not. You know what I'm saying? Like, guess not. You can have an anxiety attack at any more shape and time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say this, y'all. They thought Michael Jackson was weird, and he was unique in his very own way. You know, but you want to hear weird? Hearing weird for Michael Jackson's weird was, he didn't want the beat that everybody had. He'd rather you have a fucking voice recorder and run around the city and catch sounds of construction and the stop sign and car brakes and bring that back to the studio and turn that to a beat. And that's how he'll make his music stand out. If you say that's weird, then that's $1 million weirdo.
Dude.
Billion, sorry, give me respect.
It's so funny. I was watching Piece by Piece, the Pharrell Lego.
Oh, so beautiful. Great
Such
movie,
an amazing film.
Sorry. Before we go in, one thing that pissed me off about that movie, I did not know Pharrell, Missy Elliott, Justin Timberlake, fucking
the Clips.
They all went to the same school in high school.
Yeah.
Wow. And they was all in the studio together back in high school. They've been rapping before we even knew they existed.
I didn't realize they were of that same age because I was over here thinking that Timbo and Missy were so much older than Pharrell.
Like, I didn't know each other.
I mean, I knew they were kind of from the same area, but I had no idea they all went to the same freaking school together. That blew my mind. But the thing that I was thinking about was that when Pharrell was, kind of coming up and hot and everything like that, how Michael Jackson wanted to buy a beat from Pharrell. And the beat that he got, I think, wound up being, I want to say, Senorita by Justin Timberlake, right? And so he wanted to give that to Michael Jackson. But Michael Jackson didn't want the beat. You know why? Because Michael Jackson came up to him and said, I thought you were going to give me like a super thug beat like you did for Noriega. And I was just like, oh my God. I could just hear Michael Jackson. What? And it's just like,
oh my God. So, side note, for all my like Michael Jackson lovers out there, there's a Michael Jackson song where his real voice, he's singing in his real voice.
Oh, he ain't singing in the falsetto?
No, he's not singing in falsetto. He's singing in deep Michael. Like, it's not that deep, but it sounds like a Usher.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm gonna find a song for you guys.
Bro, find it and send it to me.
It was as shocking as hearing Playboy Cardi not do his baby voice on some tracks that he's out recently. It's just like,
wow,
that's crazy,
right? It's just like, and here I thought you pinned yourself into a corner. Look at you teaching me new.
Oh, 9,000 watts. Sorry, I'm so deep into it now. 2,000 watts.
Wait, is that the one that he did with Tyrese?
That's the song he did with Tyrese?
That's the song he did with Tyrese.
Okay, so check it out then. If you listen to it, you actually hear, you can hear it's Michael, but it's a black voice, and I was just singing he's just singing like normal. And and it sounds pretty good.
Okay.
But at the same time, you like, I see why you do the voice you did, because you would have just sounded like a normal person singing on a microphone.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have stood out and been this worldwide phenomenon that you are.
Yeah.
You know, and
then you would have been Tito.
You would have been Tito, you know what I'm saying? And then we would have looked at you like you was weird.
R.I.P. to Tito. Does not get his due.
R.I.P. to Michael too, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think that's all beautiful, you know, and I think like the ultimate message we got from this today was just like, man, everybody's weird in their own way, shape, and form. You know what I'm saying? My favorite thing I always say to students is, you might be the superhero in your story and be the villain in somebody else's art. You know what I'm saying? Just because of your quote-unquote weirdness or who you are.
Yeah.
But don't let that break you. Just enjoy yourself and keep doing what you're doing, because on the flip side, you know, right now you may be in school and everybody, oh, you a nerd. When did you get to college, bro?
Oh, yeah.
They gonna be on your head because you so smart and they want you to have money and they want you to be whatever, you know what I'm saying? So like, don't be afraid of your weirdness. Embrace it. You know, one of my senior speech, I actually ended with, I didn't end with it, it was like toward my end, but I literally asked the seniors, are your thoughts your thoughts? You know what I'm saying? Are you actually thinking what you want to think, or are you thinking what other people tell you to think? And it was deep because MJ, our new cousin, well, found out cousin, she actually came to my room after that, and she was like, you blew my mind with that last sentence, because I always thought I wanted to go to school to be this, that, and the third, but I really just want to do real estate. And I'm like, beautiful. Let's do fuck all that other stuff. Let's get you on real estate then. Because your mom wants you to be a nurse. I'm so happy for your mom. She has good aspirations for you, but you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, let's go do what you want to do. If she finds you different, weird, whatever, you on your path, player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's walk your steps and go from there, you know? And she's gonna be happy for that, you know.
Live your life for you, not for others.
Like even for like some of my peers and stuff that are like older than me, and they feel like it's like too late. I'm like, it's never too late, bro.
Yeah.
Like, just if that's what you want to do, if you think you're gonna be good at that, the worst you can do is just try and figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the best you can do. At least try to figure it out and entertain it.
Yeah.
Just go entertain it and see what you do. You know what I'm saying? You like to cook? Man, cook some chicken up and give it to your friends and see what they say.
There you go. Start small.
Start small.
Do incremental steps until suddenly your life has changed.
Your life has
like
changed.
the longest, most worthwhile and long-lasting changes are the ones that we start small. The ones that we can make healthy habits that we continue to grow.
Exactly.
Like that's been the gym for me, man. Like I'll take a rest day when my back ain't feeling it. And the other times I'm there, I'm like, you know, the hardest part is getting here, because once I'm here, I'm gonna go hard.
I'm here.
Yeah. So
And that's what it is, to show up sometimes, bro.
yeah, show up and be present.
And
That's
I was
all you
gonna
can do.
say too, like to me, it really clicked with my last therapist that I had, but she was like 40 something when she started her like bachelor's and then master's degree in psychology to become a therapist.
Wow.
And she used to do like shows and stuff like that, like dance shows and like burlesque or something like that.
Nice.
But if she's gonna do that at 40 something and then she's like 50 something now doing this as a
Who the hell
career,
can't?
who can't, no matter where you start.
Yeah.
And like, I'm young, and the person I was referring to was like not that much younger from her. So it's like, just do it, bro.
Just do it. Like, so you saying that just made me think of EDC, and it's like, how many people are at EDC over 40 years old?
Yeah, a lot.
Probably a lot,
Probably
you know, and
quite
everybody
a few.
looking at him like, this old ass man here, blah blah. But guess what? That man's enjoying his fucking life, and he's happy, and he's having a good fucking time. He don't care what you think about him.
Yep.
You can walk right up to him and say, you're a fucking weirdo, and he'll be like, X, bro, who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like a fist bump in your face. Like,
And my
fuck you.
thing is just like, yeah, maybe jarring, maybe it's something to take note of in like a joking way, but like at the end of the day, like if you judging that person that hard, then you don't deserve to be in this space.
Why are you here?
Yeah,
Exactly.
This whole place is full of weirdos. This place is meant for weirdos. You're gonna come here and start dissing them?
Yeah. And it's
Get the fuck up out of here.
yeah,
man.
like for what reason? For what? For why? You know?
Take your Instagram post and fucking get out.
And that's the thing, man. I've yet to actually be out there, and part of me is like, someday, and the other part of me is like, I might never make it out there. But you know what?
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's not your vibe. That's not you.
Yeah.
You know, like, And I was thinking that the other day, like, so I've never been to EC, but then me and Jess went to they had a soul selection DJ. I was telling you about that.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was different because I'm used to a club. You know, club is dress up and you hunt. You know what I'm saying? You out there, of course people out there, I'm just here to dance with the girls, but at the end of the day, you hunt at the end of the day. It's that look good mindset. You have to come here your best.
Yep.
We went to this club thing the other day, and I didn't know how to feel because it was like, it's a club environment. This night is dark, the DJ's playing, music's loud, lights is flashing, but it's not a club because everybody's here for the DJ. And they just want to hear the DJ's mix. And everybody's just standing at the DJ booth and they just vibe with the DJ, cameras out, and good mix, bro. But it's not like, and you don't. It was throwing me off because it's like you feel that aggressive feeling, but there's no. It was so much love in that room at the time because everybody's just here vibing. We all in comfortable clothes. You know, I was laughing at Jessica because she had her big ass purse. Every time she was dancing, was hitting me and shit. And I'm saying like, why'd you bring that big ass purse? But then I'm like, you're not in a club environment though. Ain't no little purse, little heels. No, it's jeans, comfortable pants, comfortable shoes, and I'm here to vibe and hang out. And it was like, that was a good thing. And I felt weird because I feel like I'm supposed to be, drinking and stuff, but it's like I didn't have a drink or nothing. I'm just sitting here vibing with the DJ. And then at some point I left. I left and left her in there by herself because I'm like, I can't take it no more. This is past me. But she loves it. And I'm like, you do you. I'm gonna go out to me. I'm gonna go take me a walk. Got me a cigar. I walked to the car. She met me afterwards. We went home, got some dinner. It was a cool night. No difference, But she understands that I'm weird in a way where I can go out, but at some point I'm ready to get the fuck out of there. I'll drive myself because I'm ready to go.
Let me just say this. More often than not, women don't know when the hell to go home.
They don't, but at the same time I accept it. I'm like,
it's just like, hey, you do your thing. I'll be okay. You go and you do your thing. You be social. My social batteries just kind of tapped out.
It taps out real fast. I can do it, but after a while, I'm like, oh, okay, my feet hurt. I'm tired. It's too much rhythm. I need to go get some fresh air.
I'm like, you do your thing, and I'm cool.
But then the cool part was just like afterwards, it was like it was no. You left me in there by myself.
And
it was. I appreciate you for trying. I know this ain't your vibe.
That's huge.
I appreciate you for coming out and trying and just not letting me come out here by myself.
That's huge.
And
that's a real one, right?
And I had to tell her, I was like, you know what? I had two options: sit at home and worry about you being out by yourself, or me coming out and at least being out here with you, even if I do walk off early. And I was like, I'd rather choose less of evil and go outside and hang out. And then I walk Fremont Street, and I'm like, it's a weird ass world out here, boy. Fremont Street is crazy. Oh, yes. If you never seen weird, bring your ass to Vegas and go to Fremont Street. And you don't buy nothing. Get you a drink and just walk. Don't go to no casino. Just walk down Fremont Street. Get you a seat on the second floor somewhere and just stare down at the people.
It is the best.
My favorite spot is by the Nerd.
Boy, by the Nerd, boy, you got the people that break dancing. You got the girls out there with just nipples on their titties. You see the people bringing their kids out there with 2-year-olds, and it's like. And then you got the niggas out there, ass cheeks hanging out, looking for a husband. And you see the niggas out there hunting. And you see the niggas out there looking to rob. It's like, you see everything. It's like, you want to see weird? Bring your ass to Vegas on Fremont Street. I'll show you weird, bro. There ain't no other weirder place in the world than Vegas on Fremont.
I've had 3 jobs on Fremont Street, and part of me misses working down there just for the people
break,
watching.
right? Hey,
just for the people watching.
Okay, I used to work the plaza. On my lunch break, I used to walk down to the Deeds and McDonald's just to people watch. And I'll go sit right there, and then sometimes I'll just sit in the hallway and I'll take my glasses off, take my work shirt off, and I'm just sitting here chilling. And I'm just sitting here watching people walk by. And my favorite person is always Nick making the straw hats. Because he killing it. He really has just fucking sticks, and he's turned to a whole hat and probably sell it for $100. But man, I love it.
My favorite one, I'm trying to remember her name, but she was like the big titty buccaneer. The big titty pirate that had it's like full on pirate things, but her titties is out, and then the big pasties and everything. And so it's just like, but you know what? She was always super sweet, especially like if she knew that you worked there and everything like that. Like she'd just make regular conversation, and it's just like, this is the most amazing adult conversation I've ever had with somebody with their titties out. It's just like, but
adult
it's funny because it's just like, when you realize at the end of the day, it's just somebody's life. It's just a job.
She's just doing what she gotta do to make her money and feed her kids, bro. And that's all it is at the end of the day. It's like, I understand it, bro. I understand it.
Absolutely.
So, Cool. My last question for you guys is the question was the quote. So my last question is when it comes to embracing your weirdness, where are you still swimming to?
You know what? At this point, I don't even know if I'm swimming. I'm just floating.
Just floating?
I'm just floating, bro. I'm like, okay, you know what? If I can spend enough time in the stillness of, turbulent waters, wherever that might be, I'm like, as long as I know that I'm not too far from the shore and I'm not getting pulled out to sea, I'm like, just let a nigga float. Mm-hmm. Like I just survived a full on, let's say, about a good 5 years of turmoil, where it's just like, okay, I've been out at sea just swimming to survive, but now I'm like, okay, I see the land, I see the horizon. Horizon is way far that way, land is just a few feet that way. Let a nigga just float.
Right, let's see where the waves take me.
Exactly.
And you know what? I think that right there is like one of the deepest ones we had so far. Everybody's swimming somewhere, but it's like the idea that, man, I'm tired of kicking right now. I'm always tired.
Yes.
I'm done trying to prove myself. Mm-hmm. I'm done trying to make people like me. I'm done trying to be this person that I don't feel that I'm not.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to really sit here and enjoy the sun, enjoy that I'm in water and I'm still alive and I can feel it. And just be me.
Yep.
And shit. You know what? It's funny when you say that. What thing always pops in my mind is usually when you do that, from movies of course, is when that bottle with the letter come floating up. Mm-hmm. Or that random box that you've been needing comes out of nowhere.
Right there.
That supply pack that you didn't even know you needed just pops up and you be like, if I would have been swimming or kicking or running down the street, I would have missed this. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But me sitting here on this beach just enjoying the waves, I got to see this ship rolling in, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't expect, so I think that's beautiful, bro.
Thank you, man.
Anything you want to add on, brother?
Where I'm at is just, I feel like I'm finally in a space where the whole life journey of just being weird and fighting to keep that, I don't have to fight anymore at the moment. And it's totally fine. So just trying to get used to having that, again, lack of a better term, like rebelliousness as a kid. Not like I was going out doing stuff, but just like, I don't want to conform to what the fuck you think is normal. I don't care about style or any of that. But find solace in some of the things I do care about kind of fall in that realm, but most of those things don't. And I can have both. And I'm just me. And I don't have to tell people I'm me. Right. I'm just being me.
Yeah.
So.
No, and I agree with you on that one. I think I'm on your same level of just getting to the point of, accepting my weird and not feeling like I needed to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
what I'm saying? Or I need to explain myself of what I'm doing or why or anything like that. I'm to the point now it's like, either love me or leave me alone. If you can't love me for who I am, flaws and all, because I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. You can't accept me being who I am in this mode, then I'm gonna get better. I'm always gonna get better, because that's all I do is improve. But at the same time, I ain't never gonna be perfect. So it's like, if you can't accept me where I am, then y'all can just move on. If you're trying to change me or turn me to something I'm not, you can just move on, because you're talking to a wall right now. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just really embracing who I am and enjoying who I am and just getting back to, like you said, the things that made me who I am. Like recently, this whole week I've just been walking. Get back outside. I felt so good this week just getting back to work. My ankle hurt like crazy, but just getting back to my natural movement and you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, this is back to who I am now. I like this.
Dude, a good walk is everything.
Everything, bro. It's underrated.
Very much so. It's just
like it's hot.
Walking out here in this hot ass heat is a little hard, but I will say this: today was a beautiful day.
Beautiful day, bro. So I was at the park with the kids. Enough said.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we had 50 kids out there. We only had 7, 8 kids out there. But you know what? We sat in that grass. I practiced mindfulness exercises with them.
Nice.
We talked a little bit about Juneteenth, and then we gave these kids relay races: sack race, egg balance on the cup race. Can we run? Shit. I went as far as I could, and made a little race and let them let them run. Like, y'all want to burn yourself out? Burn yourself out. Whatever y'all want to. Let's have some fun. My mindset was come to the podcast, enjoy my day, and it's like when the sun sets, I may go out for a walk and enjoy the cool air.
Yeah, man.
But I'm just enjoying where I'm at right now in this moment because, I've been listening to this dude named Myron Golden. You guys heard listening to him on YouTube? Great dude. I like him because he reminds me of John Maxwell, just a black version. So have you ever listened to John Maxwell?
Not familiar.
No? Okay, so John Maxwell, he's the leadership guru. And what I like about him is he can talk straight up business to you, no question. Everybody can start. I believe a true religious person can talk to you without talking about religion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when it does come up, they can relate their religion back into what they're talking about with no issue. You know what I'm saying? So John Maxwell does that. He can come and talk to you about business, help you grow, but at the same time, he can do a whole message using the Bible to help you understand why he is talking about this in business, how it applies still, you know?
I love passages like that.
Myron Golden is the same thing. He's just more black, a little more powerful, how a black preacher would be.
Okay.
But he does the same principles of he takes what's in the Bible and relates it back to how he's doing business and shows you why this principle is effective in real life and what this principle actually is. But one of the things he was talking about, damn, I forgot what I was going with it. Fuck.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah, but one of the things he was,
It'll come back to you, bro.
Nah, it's gonna come back after y'all leave. I'll leave right now.
That's all right.
Yeah, fuck it. Go check him out though. He does great conversations on, he blends, like I said, the religion with the business, personal growth, millionaire growth mindset, all that stuff. And like, he's not like, he don't bash nothing, you know what I'm saying? He literally just twists it to show you this is how it actually works. You see it this way, but this is how I always saw it, and this is why I see it this way, you know?
Good stuff.
And that's what I love about him. He's really a good person to listen to. So for those out there listening, go check him out. If I can figure out what I was saying, I'll put it in the next message because I cannot. It just truly blanked out. I cannot remember what he said the other day. Fuck, man. Yeah, it's going on. Alright, we gonna leave it on that note, bro. I'm sure we're over an hour already for sure, so we gonna leave it on that note.
Just hitting
2 hours?
Yeah, 18. We got 1.5 minutes until 2 hours.
Okay, well, thank y'all for listening to part 2 of this episode. We cut it half at the midpoint, so we appreciate y'all. But Kenny, thank you so much, man, for just coming on and sharing in general, bro. I think that was a great conversation. We appreciate it, bro.
Thank you so much. Thank y'all for having me. Anytime. Love you both.
Yeah,
thank y'all so
bro.
much.
Appreciate you. Mr. 1-3, thank you again for another great episode, or 2 episodes in one.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna chop this in half. So fuck it, we're gonna leave it alone now. I don't care. I don't matter.
Keep it bugged, like there's no stop. There's no stop.
Yeah, no point. Bet we're gonna leave it alone. Then y'all got a 2-hour special today.
That'll work.
Yes, but with everybody that listens today, we hope you guys have a great day, a marvelous afternoon, a splendid evening. As you say, go out there and embrace your weirdness, accept yourself for who you are, and yeah, enjoy this amazing thing we call life, because this is the only one you get. So last thing I'm gonna do is regret it. Yes, with all that being said, hope you guys have a great day, marvelous afternoon, splendid evening, and remember to just keep swimming. Yes, sir.